Welcome back. This is Metropole Business Center, and you're watching Metropole TV, Kenya's 24-hour business channel. And now we turn our attention to the Kenya Revenue Authority, which has launched a mobile phone application, the KRA M-Service app, that enables taxpayers to access various services offered by the authority, ranging from taxpayer registration and verification, filing of returns, and payment of tax. The launch of the app coincides with KRA's launch of the annual Taxpayers Month. The authority annually convenes a month-long event to foster beneficial partnerships with key stakeholders from various sectors. And for more details on the newly launched app, I am joined live by the KRA Deputy Commissioner, Policy and Tax Advisory in the Domestic Taxes Department, Caxton Masudi. Mr. Masudi, welcome to Metropole Business Center.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Good. So let's begin with an overview of the app and what purpose it seeks to achieve within KRA's tax collection or revenue strategy.
KRA has been undergoing transformation for quite some time. As you may be aware, we have been deploying technology in provision of tax services. And initially, we provided for systems that would help tax authority in mobilizing revenue. But in the last few years, we have now turned to providing enhancements to these systems that are aimed at simplifying and improving the customer experience. So these new developments, including the front-facing or customer-facing of our solutions, are aimed at providing services within reach of our taxpayers and for them to transact taxes at the comfort of their zones, of their spaces, including transacting in the offices and transacting on the go. So the purpose of this mobile application is to enable taxpayers to file and transact on matters relating to tax on the go, and without them requiring to access a computer, for example, or requiring them to go to the office, so they can simply file taxes on the go. So why did we introduce this, and for whom we have introduced this app? This application is meant to support the categories of taxpayers that we have that may not at the moment be able to process their tax transactions, file returns and pay taxes without, without them accessing computers and similar devices. So largely, this was an outcome of engagement with our stakeholders who requested that we provide them with tools, especially persons in the category of small taxpayers or those who operate in the informal sector. They requested that we give them tools that will allow them access tax services from the comfort of their spaces, especially where they work and at home or on the go. Thank you.
Very well. Thanks a lot for that overview, Caxton. Let's take a deeper look now at the services that are available on this app. What can I do if I download that app? What can I be able to transact with the KRA?
So far, you can do quite a lot with the app. You can actually file tax returns relating to turnover tax. You can also file and pay monthly rental income. You can also file a nil return for various taxes. You can apply for a PIN, and you can also apply for a tax compliance certificate. And on top of that, a person can actually verify various services and documents that are issued by the tax authority, including you can verify the authenticity of a tax compliance certificate. You can also verify authenticity of a PIN. You can verify PRN, payment reference numbers, and you can also verify whether officers from the tax authority that visit you are actually coming from the tax authority. You can authenticate, you can verify or validate the authenticity of KRA officers, so persons who present themselves as KRA officers, mainly so as to weed out imposters. Because outside there are also people who go around extorting taxpayers that they are from KRA. So they have a double impact of harassing our taxpayers and also impacting negatively on our services.
Very well. How about for those who are filing their annual tax returns, the monthly VAT returns? Can that be done through this M-Service app?
Not yet. We are still doing enhancements. The returns that can be filed currently are only the nil returns, but we are still doing further product development. So, for example, we intend to also bring on board services relating to customs, including the customs declaration checkers. We also intend to roll out further additional products after further development and enhancements.
Very well. We know that the mobile phone has been largely associated with mobile money, and I'm just wondering whether this app is integrated with the existing mobile money payment services. Can I be able to pay tax via M-Pesa through this app?
Yes. So far, we have successfully integrated with Safaricom, the M-Pesa services. We are in the process of integrating with the Airtel Money. And we are also opening up the platform so that you can use any payment method that exists, whether it is Visa and any other method that that you can use to pay, to transact, so that you can use whatever method that is accessible to you to pay the taxes.
Very well. Since the launch of the app, how many downloads has the KRA recorded?
So far, we have hit over 100,000 downloads, and we have active use of about 90% of those downloads. And this was largely at the time of trial. So we hope now that with the rollout that we did early this week, we will be able to convert a lot of our taxpayers into this platform. Remember that anybody who has a turnover of up to 50 million Kenya shillings is required to pay turnover tax. And this is the bulk of the taxpayers that we have. So we will actually be expecting over 50% of all our taxpayers to use this platform in order to pay taxes, because anybody who has a turnover of over 50 million is required to pay turnover tax. Remember also that the purpose of introducing the turnover tax is a way of aiming at simplification of tax processes, so as to enable persons who cannot afford to engage consultancy firms and who cannot afford keeping of complicated tax records to also account for their taxes in the simplest way possible, without any further investment in technologies and any further investment in tax accounting systems.
Very well.
So this application works very well for this category of people, because all that you need is just the turnover. So long as you know your turnover, you subject it to, when you declare it in the system, and then it works. But by the way, the other very interesting thing with this app is that we have now even allowed taxpayers to pay their taxes on daily basis. It's almost like pay as you earn. because every time you sell and you have a sales figure for the day, enter it into the system, it will compute for you the turnover tax, and you pay it immediately, so that you don't have the challenge of accumulating your tax liability for a whole tax period.
Very well. I'm just wondering, for those who have feature phones, who probably are unable to afford a smartphone, can they still be able to access this app? Is it compatible with a feature phone, or what people will call a kabambe?
Yes, if you don't have a smartphone, we are actually in the process of rolling out. We rolled out this solution, mobile services, KRA mobile services in phases. So first, we wanted to make sure that the app works well, but we have actually developed a USSD version, which will allow you transact using codes. You know, the way you transact sometimes on M-Pesa, by sending a number, it gives you a menu, you select, then subsequently you select what you want to do, whether file a return or pay taxes. So that is going to be released in due course, because we have seen this one is already successful, it's running well, so we'll be rolling that as our next release.
Very well. Finally, where is this app? Where can I find the app if I want to download it?
So for now, the app is applicable in the for people who have software using Google software. You can download from the store. For those who use Apple phones, we are also in the process of releasing the Apple version shortly. And maybe I can just add that we will also be releasing a multi-language version, because, you know, this country has two national languages. We have English and Swahili, and we do not want to leave out those people who prefer communicating in the Kiswahili language. So the Kiswahili version will also be released soon.
Very well. Thanks a lot, Mr. Caxton Masudi, for your elaboration of the KRA M-Service app. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking to Mr. Caxton Masudi, who is a KRA Deputy Commissioner in charge of Policy and Tax Advisory in the Domestic Taxes Department, who's been giving us the details on KRA's newly launched KRA M-Service app, which is now available on Google App Store. And at that point, we'll take a short break. After this break, we'll be introducing a whole new segment on this show. And I'll be joined by one of my colleagues to take us through that segment of the show, so you don't want to miss that. That's right after the break. This is Metropole Business Center.